Hey guys, Ben here showing you how to do a intake clean on a this is a Mini Cooper, but pretty much any motor that has direct injection is gonna have that carbon buildup on the intake valves, and I'm gonna show you how to do it yourself at home. You can buy everything pretty right $100, maybe a little less depending on where you go. But first, so you start out with a sandblaster. I bought this at Harbor Freight's 20-pound sandblaster at Harbor Freight's. It comes with everything you need. The only thing you do need is to get a air hose and a regulator and a inline water filter if your compressor doesn't already have it, and it's not already regulated to the recommended PSI for this tank, which is 60 to 125 PSI. If you go over 125 PSI, it's going to turn on. I kind of learned that the hard way. So I just put this inline little regulator here so I can, my compressor shooting out a little bit more than 125, so put the regulator on there so I can regulate it and to keep it under 125. But it comes with everything you need. The kit does come with this nozzle at the end, and this nozzle kind of sucks. It keeps clogging up. So after a bunch of walnut shells being wasted and a lot of clogging, I decided to go ahead and make my own. So Harbor Freight too, you can also buy a 25-pound box of fine grade walnut shells. So I bought this at so I made my own nozzle. I bought this line at Pep Boys, but you can go to any other Advanced Auto Parts, Napa, whatever have you. So this is just a regular brake line. This one was already made. It's probably maybe about a foot and a half long, and it had flares on both sides. So see, I cut the flare off on there, and I left the flare on this side, and I got a flare fitting, 1/4-inch flare fitting with adapter that goes all the way to 3/8 compression fitting. So let me take off this thing here. So it's just a regular adapters, and this fitting right here comes with the kit. From this point on up, I had made this nozzle. I found this nozzle to be very effective. It doesn't clog up like the nozzle that comes with it, and you're able to go into this intake hole and actually touch each valve individually, which helps you get a better clean. So highly recommend making this your own. You can try to use the nozzle that it comes with, but you're gonna get frustrated with it clogging up constantly. Alright, so once you have all this set up and done, I would suggest turning on, filling up the tank with the walnut shells. Fill it about 3/4 tanks, 3/4 full. That's what the recommendation is. And then you open up these two lines, set your air pressure. Make sure you have an inline filter. If you don't have it on your tank, put one on here, because you don't want to get water on the walnuts and help you clog up. So there's a valve on the bottom. What I found out was that you open up that valve about halfway. I found that to be better. It gives you a better flow, but you can see what works better for you. You can play around with it. But these two valves stay open, and then once you're ready to start blasting, you open this up and then go on your way. So now you also need a shop vac. I got just a regular vacuum cleaner. This was here at the shop, but a shop vac will do just great. So what I did, let me take this off. Took a regular radiator hose, and I drilled a hole, about a 1/4-inch hole in it, so for the nozzle to go in. And this fits perfect into the intake ports, at least on this car it does. This is a Mini Cooper, 08 Mini Cooper S. So you put it into the intake port there, squeeze it in there. It squeezes just good, and it seals up perfectly. You can put oil on it if you want, but I keep it dry because it keeps a better seal. And then you have your nozzle here, and you hook up your vacuum line to the end of the hose, and then you're good to go. Then you take your nozzle, point it in there, turn everything on, and start working it back and forth, up and down, circles. Try to go down, touch each valve, clean each valve, and then you do that to each port, making sure every time when you're ready to clean the next port, make sure that piston is on top dead center and the valves are closed. Let me see if I can show you. I already cleaned all these ports. I don't know if you can kind of tell. Let me see if I can get a good picture here for you. But let's see. There you go. So those are pretty clean. I had sprayed some stuff in there, some brake cleaner, so I gotta clean it up. But as you can see, the intakes are really clean. Works really good, and obviously you have to know how to take your intake manifold off. And this one was pretty easy on this Mini Cooper. So any car that has direct injection, you see the injectors there go straight into the port, into the engine block, are gonna have the carbon buildup issues, and this is a good way to do it yourself. Like I said, I got mostly everything on Harbor Freight, but I had a radiator hose just laying around that I grabbed, and then I was changing out the spark plug, so just left them out, and I turned the motor to make sure each piston was on top dead center, whichever one I was cleaning. That's why I was using this as reference. You don't have to do that, but just make sure all the valves are closed back here when you're doing it, and that's pretty much all you do. It's pretty easy, simple, less than $100 to build everything. So if you have any questions, leave in the comments, and I'll answer anything after. Alright, you guys have a good one. Thanks for watching.